Hey everyone, I'm AdamHarry with...
And I'm Larry.
And we're from BoLS, and today we're taking a look at Gang War 2 for Necromunda.
That's right.
This is the latest supplement.
Yep, it is all about House Orlok. It's got all kinds of good stuff in it.
Yeah, it's got a ton of hangers-on and followers for your game to add in. It's got a bunch of extra rules for all the new tile supplements out there. And it's got a bunch of cool dramatis personas to add to your game.
Including everyone's personal favorite back after, what, 20 years?
30 years? I don't
Maybe.
know.
The Squads.
The Squads.
Oh,
Woo!
well, A-Squad.
A-Squad.
A-Squad,
Oh.
singular. But
The
they
Squats.
exist. But they exist.
So,
They exist. They're back.
Yeah, we're pretty excited
Very,
about this
very
one.
cool.
So ready to do this one?
I am.
Let's do it. All right. So, where do we start, man? There's so much good stuff. Obviously, this is a lot about the Orloks, right?
Yes, this is all built around House Orlok, the House of Iron.
Yeah.
And kind of, how do we talk about House Orlok? They're kind of like the
they're the cool kids.
They're kind of like a combination of hipsters and bikers.
Yeah, they're definitely biker hipsters.
Yeah, like if you all remember the old Orloks, they used to be in the box set of the original Necromunda, and they were kind of like skinny
and Bato-y.
And kind of Bato-y, and now they're definitely put on a few pounds. They're kind of beefy, chunky guys.
They got the leather, vests and like the biker look, but then they have really perfectly coiffed hair and like nice facial hair.
And like some of them,
very hipster.
One of them has a handlebar mustache.
So
I'm totally not making that up.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah. But overall, the House of gangs of House Orlok.
There we go.
Yeah, what do they run again? They are the House of Iron.
They are the House of Iron.
Yeah.
Their big thing is they have the monopoly on transportation on the planet. So everyone else is like, make something, right? So it's like the Von Sars make high-tech goods, and Escher makes all the drugs and pharmaceuticals. But these guys are like, if you wanted, it would be unfortunate if your shipment of whatever you make didn't show up on time, so you should pay us our fee. But pretty much they're the mob. Yeah, it's pretty like they're teamsters.
They are kind of mostly.
Yeah, pretty much. They in general, compared to the other things, their emphasis is going to be, as a gang, as you play them, their emphasis is going to be on ferocity and savant. So it talks about the fact that their primary weapons are going to be shotguns and the autogun family. Yeah. So as opposed to like Goliath, who has an emphasis on really like large, scary, close combat weapons,
or like big pistol guns,
like really big stubbers and stuff. And Escher is all about
the finesse and the sneaky weapons.
Rapiers and lasguns in the lasgun family. These guys are just all shotguns. They're just shotguns and autoguns, but they have a lot of skills that are going to make them based on ferocity and savant. They're going to get a lot of. They get weird, funky, but like they're not overtly like I'm stronger than you or I'm faster. But they have stuff like savant gives them access to like they are better at firing weapons. Like their weapons don't jam as much.
Right. They have the reliability.
Right, and they get re-rolls. So they like have and it talks about them because like they have not only transportation, but just not high tech, but just like basic, like standard, like good quality equipment.
Yeah, they have a higher quality than some of the other games.
So their gear is better and doesn't break as much.
The other thing too, secondary skills wise, they are still okay in close combat. They have most of them have secondary bronze skills and secondary shooting skills. So just like Larry was saying, not only are their weapons more reliable, but with the brawn and shooting aspects, they're pretty good in close combat or from range too. So they're pretty, they're slightly above average, I would say, in the curve when it comes to combat skills in general.
The ferocity family of skills, which is also their primary, gives them lots of in-game bonuses related to leadership. So even though, once again, they're not the fastest or they're not the strongest,
and they're not the toughest.
Like they get benefits, like they don't run as much and they don't get pinned as much. So they're like individually very brave. So which means in game they're going to be a gang that's very reliable. Yeah. So
I think that's how I would if I had one word to pick for Orlok, it would be reliable. Yeah. Like these guys stick around.
Kind of stubborn.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna
stubborn. Yeah. They stick around. They're not going to go anywhere. Their weapons are slightly above average. Their shooting and their close combat slightly above average. So they're not going to take off like some gangs might lose one guy and break or something like that. But these guys are going to stick around. So
I think they actually did a pretty good job, because that was one of the things that I was worried about was with 6 different gangs and more coming soon. It was how do you actually make the gangs that are not obviously specialized. Like Goliath is obviously we're the strongest guys. So how do you make these kind of middle gangs? And they did a really good job of like these guys are like it really makes me look forward to Deluxe, because Deluxe are the spy masters. Those guys? So they're gonna have all kinds of weird like spy sneaky crap.
I'm worried. I'm not worried. I'm curious what they're gonna do with like House Cawdor as well, because like,
they're gonna be like fanatical.
Fanatical, like what their leadership's probably gonna be really high.
They're gonna have like crazy leadership.
What other stuff are they gonna do? So
they'll set you on fire. They're gonna be like all flamers.
All flamers all the time.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of their special weapons. Not special, but kind of unique to Orlok, because they do have the Harpoon launcher, which was
if you've seen Mad Max Fury Road, you've seen this weapon. So that's all I'm going to point out is that it's a harpoon gun, and they talk about so House Orlok's like fluff rationale is they own all of the transportation on Necromunda.
Right.
So these harpoon guns, so they're these are the guys who are actually out in the wastelands driving cars and defeating other renegades out in the polluted dunes. Where have you seen that movie before?
I don't know.
And so the harpoon gun is used by those guys, the guys who are like out in the open road. They use the harpoon gun to both harpoon enemy vehicles and stop them. And then they take them over.
And also harpoon people.
Or they harpoon people, or they use them to set traps. They'll like string like harpoons and clothesline people and do all kinds of stuff.
For House Orlok, the harpoon weapon is the guy that used that is kind of like a sign of like pride and like status within the house. So the harpoons are really good.
It's a pretty decent weapon. Let's go over stats.
I'm trying to find the stats real fast. I think it's back here, but
harpoon gun.
Yeah. By the way, this book has a lot of other stuff in there too, with in regards to characters, bounty hunters, and things like that. So
there's the weapon stats.
Here we go. Heavy weapon, harpoon launster.
All right, so we got short 6 inches, long 18 inches, plus 2 strength,
which is pretty good.
Pretty nice. Strength 5, AP -3.
Yeah.
Ow. And then
1 damage and
armor 5+,
ammo 5+.
Ammo 5+, and its traits are drag, impale, and scarce.
Yeah. I think we can find those.
Oh, that makes me laugh.
Yeah.
I just like that impale is like a
thing. Try to find. Here we go. Want to go over some of these things here. Let's start with impale.
Yep. Impale. If an attack made by this weapon hits and wounds the target, and the saving throw is unsuccessful or no save throw is real, the projectile continues through and hits another target. So basically, this thing can just, if you have like a bunch of guys in a row, this has the potential to hit and strike multiple people and keep on going, which is hilarious.
Yeah, if any other fighters within 1 inch of this line, within the weapon's long range, the one that is closest to target is at risk of being hit. On a d6, on a 3 or more, draw this weapon's attack against that fighter, subtracting 1 from the strength. Through multiple fighters in this way, but the strength is reduced to 0. It cannot hit any more fighters. So it has the potential. Just bloop,
and drag if you hit. Basically, if you hit someone and they live, they're pulled D3 inches towards you, which in a game like Necromunda is fantastic because you're going to be able to knock people. You'll be able to like, I pull you into the pit, or I get your guy and pull him out of range or out of line of sight. So anytime in a game like Necromunda, you can
manipulate your opponent's movement.
It's super awesome. So there's going to be all kinds of cool tricks.
Just again, Necromunda is supposed to be played on like multiple levels.
Oh yeah, you'll be like, hey guy on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, hey, come down here right now
into the lava pit.
Yeah. So if you're playing on the tiles, that's one way, but if you're playing on a 3D board too,
it's gonna be super dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the harpoon gun. Let's flip.
Wasn't there one more?
Limited.
Limited.
It's rare.
Yeah.
It's a rare weapon.
Yeah.
So now we're going to talk about the other. So there's 3 big sections in this book. The first one is House Orlok.
Right.
And you get all the points and whatever. So the next thing you get, we'll show them. Hired guns. So hired guns. This is an entirely new concept. Well, this was from the Outlanders, I believe.
Yeah.
Had in original Necromunda. So you can add people into your gang who literally are mercenaries. Yeah. So if you have a gang and they kind of have specialized skills, and you pay money for them just like anything else, except instead of being the normal Juve ganger, heavy weapons guy, these are just specialists. You have to pay them to keep them around.
A couple of things they don't do. They never gain XP.
Yep.
They do impact your gang's rating the same way as any other fighter. And in skirmish battles, the hired guns can be purchased the same way as any other fighter. So I think the number of hanger-oners you can have is also dependent on the number of...
there's a difference between hired hired guns and hangers on. Because hired guns basically are like these are hired guns are badasses. Like these are guys. They're like these are fighters. Whereas hangers on are like kind of minor figures who give your gang like special abilities, some of which aren't combat related.
Right.
Like some of them may be like these guys are like cheap to hire on, and you can only have so many hangers on. But some of them help you like during the campaign phase of
which
the game,
is kind of important if you're playing a campaign.
Which is kind of cool. So we'll go over some of them.
But yeah, let's talk about just name them off real quick. We've got hired guns. We've got bounty hunters.
There's hive scum and bounty hunters. Hive scum are the lower level ones. That's just like the equivalent of just a generic hired fighter.
Right.
Bounty hunters are definitely much more. They're expensive and they're much more badasses.
For hangers on, again, it's all based on your gang's reputation. The maximum number of hangers on you can have,
which is between 0 and 4.
Right. There's rogue docks. There are ammo jacks. There's dome runners and sloppers.
All right, and they're hilarious. Yeah. So, what each of those do really quickly.
We'll talk.
Rogue docks. Those obviously are doctors. So those are gonna help you heal up and keep you guys alive.
Which is again campaign mode super important.
Let me check really quick to see when it actually happens. Yeah, that is during the campaign phase. So when you're rolling for injuries, these guys give you rerolls and bonuses on that.
Now, if you take them in battle, they're not useless either.
Yeah, they're okay.
They have, as hangers-oners, they have guns and equipment that they, like, the doc here has a stub gunner, like,
but he comes with
pistol. But he comes with a kit.
Exactly. So he can actually do a little bit of actual healing in combat. You're not going to want to risk these guys too much, because, I mean, these are not good fighters.
Their real value comes post game.
Ammo jacks, however, are better at fighting, and they give you rerolls and bonuses on all your ammo checks. So
you're going to have kind of a big deal.
Yeah, so you're going to be reloading more reliably. Your guns aren't going to be jamming as much. That's really cool, especially if you're from one of the gangs who uses unreliable weapons.
Yes.
Because like House Orlok, they wouldn't need ammo jacks as much.
They would only make them even better and more reliable.
Right.
Yeah, and then after that we've got the Dome Runner.
Dome Runners are basically local scouts, so they're very familiar with the territory that you're fighting in. So their big benefit is they let you re-roll and modify the dice when you're rolling for what type of territory you're fighting in. So if you hire Dome Runners, your gang is going to, in the campaign phase, probably net going to be richer. You're going to be finding better territories that are worth more money, which is cool. Sloppers are both funny and gross. So everyone on Necromunda, everyone eats corpse starch.
Yeah,
delicious. From USDA graded AAA.
I don't
corpse starch. Triple F.
So
sloppers are experts in they're basically corpse starch experts, whatever that means.
They just make sure your guys are fed. It might not be what they want to eat.
Yeah,
but
so your guys don't starve. So what that means is that during the campaign phase, if you have sloppers around, like your guys heal up faster.
Yeah,
they heal and they don't suffer like debilitating long-term injuries as much because they're well fed.
Woo! And then real quick too, hired guns we talked about. Those are just better than average.
They're just combat guys.
But again, the bounty hunters and hired guns, and along with the hangers on, they do not gain XP. So
correct. What the real role of those guys are is, say that you have a gang, say that you end up with a gang and you have just a devastating battle and you lose like a lot of your experts in the middle of a campaign, and you're like, I can only hire Juves to and I'm going to have to spend a few games, rebuilding them, but I'm in the middle of a campaign, but it's possible that your gang is actually quite wealthy. You just had a really bad game. You can now take a lot of your cash reserves and trade them in and get a couple, bounty hunters and badass guys to kind of fill the ranks for 2 or 3 games until your actual gangers who do gain XP kind of catch up again. Because that was like one of the kind of the weird little like loopholes that you could get really unlucky.
Yeah. If you had a bad
campaign
game in campaign,
but these guys fix that.
Yeah.
So
the other cool thing about the bounty hunters I really like about them is when you're recruiting them, they have 3 different stat lines to choose from. You can pick that, but then you're supposed to pick their skills randomly.
Okay.
Which is kind of neat. Now, depending on what you're playing, you may or not do that.
What you're gonna get.
But you can't.
I think you should totally.
Randomize
because that's the whole. I mean, that's the whole point. Is you're like.
You're already picking their stat line.
Yeah, the mysterious stranger walks into the bar.
Yeah.
What skills does he know? And then you get the book has I believe 4 pre-done bounty hunters that are just famous that anyone can hire, so including the squat.
Right. Well,
right there.
It's kind of interesting too the way they did this.
Grendel,
they sprinkled them throughout the whole book.
Yeah,
so they're not all in one spot. So it's kind of fun.
So really quick, I want to take an aside because we need to talk about Grendelson. Yeah. So he is a bounty hunter. The more interesting part is his background. Yeah. Because his background, obviously, everyone in 40K is very sensitive about the squats. So the question is, how are they going to bring them back? Are they real? Are they like a lost race? You know, what's going on with them? They're totally not a lost race. So wherever they've been for 20 years, they just haven't been in the rules. Yeah. But they're out there. So I'm going to give you just a little bit of them. Grendelson, as a banner Jarl in the famed Vega Rams mercenary company, Grendel came to Necromunda with rogue trader Lord Constant Garrett of blah, 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 blah. Goes on, there's a few paragraphs about how there was sabotage, the rogue trader's killed, and Grendel flees into the Underhive. And, despite his dire circumstances of his coming to House Primus, Grendelson quickly established a new life, finding gainful employ as a bodyguard of various Underhound figures. At length, he earned the right to practice as a sanctioned bounty hunter, and he serves any master who will pay his fee. He is famed for protecting his charges from their rivals and subsequently claiming the bounty on would-be assassins' heads. And so far, there's been no shortage of foolhardy rivals eager to test his skills and his infamous hammer. So, what you find out is that he's part of some type of actual his original home before he joined the Rogue Trader is he's part of some he is part of a famous mercenary company called the Vega Rams. He has hammers, and you can tell he's not set up as a shady individual. So
he's on the up and up, and he's welcomed in the welcomed in the.
And he's a bounty hunter who's a protector. He's not a hunter. So you can tell they're already bringing back. I mean, those are like a lot of those. Those are the classic squat traits from those from those guys who don't remember from way back in Rogue Trader. Super honorable. You know, use the hammers. You know, so and there's nothing in that passage that indicates that he's clearly labeled as a squat, as an abhuman. He's staying in the abhuman section of the hive. So I mean, they're definitely setting up all the background to bring these guys back if they want to.
There's actually 7 total bounty hunter types that you can hire. Besides Grendel, you've got Yolanda Scorn, Eros Slag Mist, Krotos Hark, Gore the Halfhorn, the Deserter, and Yar Umbral. Umbra,
who wears a bag over his head.
Yeah,
and you don't know what.
You don't know what he is.
He's mysterious.
So let's flip to those guys real fast.
All right.
We think that these some of these do have models from Forge World.
Yep.
So there's Yolanda.
Yep. There's Yolanda.
And I think they range from 200-ish credits up to 300.
About 300. Yeah. Grendel is 280. We already went over the hangers on. There's another one.
Here's Slag Mist Bounty Hunter. That's one of the new pieces they showed off at a recent Warhammer World event.
I think he may be one of the ones who got the 3 miniatures from.
No, this one wasn't. It was I think it was Yolanda. It was the guy Monopike.
Okay.
And then the Deserter guy.
Oh, okay.
And skip through that system real fast.
Yeah, right there.
And then we've got Krotos Hark Bounty Hunter.
Also known as Maximus for all of you Gladiator fans, right? Because like when he flips that thing up, he's totally Russell Crowe. Yeah. That guy just looks like Maximus.
And then of course Gore Halfhorn. We've seen him. Yeah. Again, another abhuman that is a licensed bounty hunter.
Yep. Back from Rogue Trader. Yep. So yay, Beastmen bounty hunters.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Beastmen in the Imperium.
That's great. Hey, they were there before.
I know. This is the Deserter. This guy actually did get a model from Forge World.
Yeah.
His backstory is really interesting. He's actually possibly a famed Imperial Guard commander who may have lost his whole unit and chose exile in the Underhive versus death, or he might just have been a wounded guardsman that ended up in the Slag somehow. People don't know. People aren't for sure, but they do know that this guy can fight, and he has booby traps all over his lair. So if you come recruiting him, gangers like to send multiple Juves to go try to talk to him because they don't all make it back.
Half of them are gonna get
but also the authorities just don't they don't care anymore. So whatever this guy did to become known as, they only call him the Deserter. Whatever he did, nobody knows. and the government of Necromunda does not care to find out. Right. So they keep losing people trying to find them.
Yeah.
So
Not worth people's time. Yeah. Let's go back over the middle section of the book.
Oh, yeah.
So the middle section of the book, as a surprise to me, Underhive Perils.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of these. There's like 12 pages, like a substantial chunk of this book.
Yeah, it's about 10 pages of Underhive Perils, and there's multiple perils per page.
So
these are the tiles, the new tile set that GW has put out. I think they're Delta 7 Badlands tiles or something like that.
Yep.
But they represent different things that you're using.
So with that tile set and the tile set you get in Necromunda, you can make big, huge, giant boards, and we're going to go over these briefly, but because there is a ton of them.
Yeah. Some of the big new ones that I think are important.
You can just read them off.
The Cult Ritual Chamber.
That's a big giant Chaos Star etched, and as gangers go near it, they have a chance of kind of going crazy because it's all weird and chaosy.
Yeah. See, I'm going to skip over. We'll come back to those, but there's also these are the two I found most important. There was a Chaos Ritual Chamber and the Xenos Nesting Chamber.
The Xenos Nesting Chamber is just a little corner of the board that has little eggs all over it, and if gangers get near it, they have a 50-50 chance of basically taking a bunch of strength 6 hits and becoming pinned.
D6 strength 1 hits.
Oh, D6 strength 1 hits.
Yeah.
Well, that's totally different.
Yeah, but you can get pinned. But what I think is so cool about these is that clearly they're hinting at, Gene Stealer cults.
Gene Stealers on this world.
And also Chaos cults. So I can't wait to see that stuff. And then we'll go through some of these. There's collapse sections, which we've seen.
Yeah, collapse section. Those are just like bridges over chasms. You got to be careful. You can fall in.
There's the Otech Device.
That one is cool. So Otech Devices is it's a little high-tech little tile. Yeah. And if you get on it, you make a check, and if you are successful, basically you gain like electric powers for the rest of the game. And if you don't, you shock yourself. And probably die.
There's the furnace floor.
Get used to that pattern because you're going to see it a lot.
You're going to see it a lot, yeah. The furnace floor, shockingly enough, is like molten slag.
Yes, and if you fall into it, you can die.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Ventilation tunnel.
Ventilation tunnel. It's a big turbine that's spinning, and if you, shocker, if you go near it, it'll chop you up.
Yeah. We're seeing a
pattern here.
Yeah. A malfunctioning generatorium.
So that's basically a giant Jacob's ladder that's just shooting like Tesla coils, and you can choose to run through it. You're like, that seems like a good place for my ganger to be.
I'm going to go through the lightning bolts.
I'm going to go stand in between the coils.
Shockingly enough, if you go through there, you might get electrocuted.
Yes.
Just strangely. A sludge farm with the sludge vat. This is a pair of sludge vats that are diagonal to each other. See this one?
They don't block line of sight.
Yeah, just pitfalls of basically.
Yes, it's basically if you're moving over them, you have to make a check, or you can get pinned.
Yeah.
So
some
of them aren't super dangerous.
That's the one that doesn't kill you.
No, you'll fall into the sludge, and then you can eat it,
and then you climb out. There's also the flooded passage and the sewage channel.
These are the big sewer channels, lots of water, so you can drown or get swept out of a battle.
Yeah, you can go out of action with those.
Yeah, which is not killed, I guess, in that case. It's just you're just swept downstream.
Yeah. Prometheum cache.
Oh, everyone loves a Prometheum
Which
cache.
also has a fuel spill next to it.
So no smoking.
Also, if you it will detonate. It can detonate. So there's detonation rules.
That is cool.
Weapons. So watch out for those.
One of my favorite ones, because this one, as opposed to just most of them have a general category. Dark corridors.
Yeah.
So there are these. Show them the picture of that.
Yeah, the corridors.
So there'll be sections that are just like black.
Yeah.
So dark corridors are cool. You can put your models into them, and as long as they're in them, you cannot be targeted.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, unless they have
infrared or something.
Exactly. So if they have the super goggles, they can. Yeah. But that's a big deal. That is, in Necromunda, that's a big deal.
Yeah, just not being able to get
I don't know
targeted.
whether you can shoot out of them, or if it's just when you're in them you can't be seen. You cannot be targeted by ranged attacks or spotted, and
unless they have photo goggles or infrascope.
Yeah, I think you can shoot out of those.
It doesn't say you can't.
Yeah.
Additionally, add one to the dice roll to see whether a booby trap is triggered if it is within the shadows.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty.
That's the place to put boob. Yeah.
There's a secure vault, which may or may not have good stuff inside.
There's a fungus sprawl, which is just, it's dangerous, and you'll get all fungus infected.
And then the waste compactor.
Because hello, hint, orcs.
Yeah. Come on, orcs.
Yeah.
Waste compactor.
It's a big giant shredder, and if you fall into it, you like hang on to the edge, and if you fail that again, then what happens to the paper when you put it into the shredder?
Bad time.
It's that.
Yeah. It's interesting. Real quick too, the fungus sprawl, just hinting at what could be possibly orcs. Mm-hmm. Orcs did invade the hive, Necromunda hive. Yeah. So It's very possible.
There are still orcs on Necromunda.
Yeah. So very, very possible. And then we get to the armory.
Right. The back section of the book is pretty much a repeat of what's in Gang of War 1 because, you know...
Depending on if you have... yeah.
These books are designed to be standalones, so you don't have to have the full set.
Like
so
if you only wanted to play Orlok,
you
can just buy this book. And,
so the back third of the book is basically you're going to get all the skills in the game, all the skill charts and the Master Armory as it's been updated with all of the new stuff. And I think... There's our...
Yar Umbral. We didn't show...
There's Baghead.
Baghead.
Right there.
Pretty cool.
He's pretty cool.
Nobody knows where Yar Umbral's from. They're Voidborn.
And he's a sniper.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Those are all the skills.
You
get the master.
You get the big reference.
You get the master reference at the very end.
Yep.
So we got a grand total of... What do we got here?
It's like 49 pages, 50 pages?
Yeah, 50 pages.
Roughly.
And that, my friends, is Gang War 2.
So go check this one out. It should be... it's... we got it a little early, but
if you like bikers, hipsters, and small arms, this is the book for you.
Welcome back, House Orlok.
Welcome to House Orlok.
Yep. I'm AdamHarry.
And I'm Larry.
We're from BoLS Souls. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Click to subscribe. Support us on Patreon. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.